Okay, I just watched a video supposedly related to van life, and it's got my blood boiling a little bit. I've never made a response video before, and I'm just feeling like I need to. One of the things that got me here is the comments were closed on this one video on this person's channel. So that's not right. Another issue is that, and I watched the video several times just to make sure about this point, she never uses the term nomad. She only talks about van life. And to me, that indicates that she's only ever skated around on the surface of the topic, and she's contributed content in such a way that she herself disapproves of, meaning romanticizing what living on the road really is like, what it takes, and what it requires of someone. Like she says in the video, it's not the images that you see on Instagram or Facebook or wherever on social media with back doors open to the ocean and all these fantastic views. Yes, those are some very nice products of lots of effort and time and research into how to get there and how to go about it. But I would be willing to bet that a lot of those particular content creators are maybe part-time, if not weekenders, who make that content and don't make it clear that they are not full-time, and leave the impression that, oh, look how easy this is. Why is this guy coming back into the parking lot? It is not an easy lifestyle. It is not for the faint of heart. And for anyone who does not do their research, they are going to quickly be discouraged and wonder how anyone could possibly pull it off. But what particularly irks me about this woman's video is that she takes her lack of preparation and then turns it around to instill fear in others with the way she categorizes all of the things that she didn't do right and how would anybody do this, and then has the potential to turn people off to this lifestyle, some of whom this may be the only option they have based on life circumstances and the options that are left to them. She mentions going on a 2-week trip from Colorado, of all places, to California, which is curious. Why would you need to drive that far to get your feet wet and see if this is something that you want to do? Why would you put yourself through that first? And why would you not practice more near where your home base is so you know where your things go, where they're organized? You've gone through all of that. There's such a learning curve above and beyond knowing where your stuff is and putting it at a place where it's helpful to you, within reach. And throughout the video, she just kept reiterating, how do you do it? How do you do this? How would you do this? And it's so clear that she has no idea, which of course indicates that she hasn't done her research. She sounded quite peeved about women in a particular Facebook group who were looking forward to becoming nomads and couldn't wait to start. Supposedly she started this Facebook group and then for whatever reason left Facebook, and now the group belongs to someone else. Just so strange. Of course, dealing with dirt and sand in your rig on the road is a constant battle if it's one that you decide that you want to still engage in, which I don't. It's like, stuff's gonna get dirty, so deal with it. She has shag carpet in her van. She talks about camping in a forest, doesn't say where, and freaking out all night because she wasn't sure if it was legal where she was. Well, honey, there's ways to find that out. She also had a problem with having to move constantly every 2 weeks on BLM land and other public land. One thing she did do right is flash Plan ABC on one short part of her video, but she said nothing to refer to it and didn't explain why that was a thing. If she had come up with Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, then that would have showed that she had done her research and she knew what she was doing. She also prefaced the video by saying exploring van life and not exploring being a nomad was something she wanted to do as an emergency option in case stuff hits the fan in her worldview and she has to bug out somewhere. Again, didn't make sense. She also mentions thinking that she was going to boondock it wherever it was that she went on this 2-week trip and ended up paying for a campground. If you started out in Colorado, there's so many places you could have boondocked. Ugh. If you don't have lived experience to contribute to the conversation, stop. This world is ridiculously difficult enough to navigate without having false information to wade through and decide if it's worth your time. She's doing a disservice to people who are genuinely looking for information, and she's not availed herself of the community that's possible for her to be a part of out there in Nomad land. Her expressed sensibilities and priorities in life put her on a particular swath of the spectrum between comfort and freedom. She's definitely on the comfort end. And the freedom aspect, she didn't address at all because she was so focused on how scared she was because of her lack of preparation. I'm sure she wouldn't look at it that way, but that's why she was afraid. So my response is, if after a 2-week trip you come to this conclusion, that to me shows that you haven't done your due diligence and you're just not cut out for this lifestyle. So fine, if that's your decision, great, but don't denigrate something that you haven't really participated in. And then she has the gall to end her video by discussing what she's going to do with her channel because it's monetized based on the setup videos, or maybe it's one in particular that just happened to get a lot of views, and that's her purpose, it sounds like, is getting monetized somehow and making money. Present the information accurately. Fess up to not doing your research and doing your homework, not practicing. Fess up to just being a content creator. Don't put your monetization troubles on anybody else. She obviously wasn't in it from the beginning for the right reasons. So she doesn't have the right to justify her opinions about a topic she knows nothing about from personal experience and projecting that onto other people. And don't denigrate something that you obviously are not qualified to speak about. Don't be dumb, and don't badmouth something that you know nothing about based on your very limited experience that you chose to make difficult for yourself. Okay, stop rant. I think I've said everything I need to say. Have a great weekend and carry on.